Ryzen 1600X is awesome. 6 cores. It actually runs at 3.7 GHz right out of the box with no overclocks. 32 degrees at idle and 60 degrees on load with a Cryo Rig H7. Cinebenched at 1237 stock. Can't wait to overclock this bad boy. I use it for design and it kills my last Intel i7. Go Ryzen. Great CPU. I mean, what else can I say? It has fantastic multi-core performance, and also the M4 platform is very future-proofed. I don't think I'm going to need a CPU anytime soon, but if I do, I would go for the same exact one. I would give this a higher rating, but the CPU arrived with bent 3 pins, making it impossible to install until the pins were straightened. Straightening the pins is a very delicate process and, for me, required use of a magnifying glass because I'm getting older and the pins are just so small. I believe I successfully straightened them, but until I complete the build process and power it up, I cannot tell if it worked or not. I've been building computers since the early 80s, so I know the bent pins were bent before I ever opened the package because they were on the inner row, where you would never place your fingers while handling during opening the package or installing it. We'll revisit this review to make appropriate rad. The CPU runs cool at stock speed while providing perfectly acceptable performance. It overclocks like a beast, too. Currently running at 4 GHz, and I know it will boot up and run stable at 4.3 GHz until it gets too hot in Prime 95 due to my use of an AO cooler with a thin radiator instead of a nice, fat 360mm or 480mm rad and custom load. I'm confident that, with proper cooling, 4.3 GHz would be 24/7 stable. It already passes Passmark and CPUZ's benchmarks in Valley, but gets too hot in Prime 95. It runs at 4.3 GHz with only 1.45D. Buy it if you aren't really into overclocking it. Overclocking disable the built-in boost adjuster, XFR, featured on the X series Ryzen. Get a nice all-in-one water cooler and just let it fly. These things are incredibly efficient. I overclocked mine just because it was very simple to do. HSA updates have done wonders for user experience. Don't forget to install the drivers that feature a custom power profile for Windows 10 specifically for Ryzen, which tailors power efficiency to maximize performance. I do some video editing on the side, but I also stream video games. At any given point, you'll have a main game, a clicker game, a web browser, mail app, OneNote app, Discord, calculator, OBS, and many other things running at once. No stutter, no slowdown. Minimum frame rates are very, very good on Ryzen. Click link in description for more reviews.